Wasn't even expecting this.
The next part that we added was a bunch of vocals. Beautiful. And the secret here was
Yo, what's going on, LLB?
Oh, what's going on, bro?
Doing good, man. Hey, I got this really cool idea. I want to do more collabs on my channel with other producers, but I want to change it up a little bit. So here's the challenge. One of us starts a melody and sends it to the other person, but the other person can only work with the audio file that you send them. And then I will send you my chopped and screwed audio file, and you can only work with that file. And then you do the same back, I do the same back, so on and so forth. And that's the catch, that's it.
Yeah, and then we can add our own drums to it at the end, and then maybe compare our own drums, see what sounds best.
Like a challenge, let's do it.
So I'm gonna start off with something dead basic. I'm gonna go to my go-to. I'm gonna go to my guitars. I'm gonna lay down like a basic sort of chord progression, and then maybe just a nice catchy riff over the top, and then leave it at that, send it across, see what we can do with it, just go from there. So let's just go in Tool Contact. I'm gonna start by putting some effects on this before I even start playing anything. I'm gonna go with the RC20. A little bit of chorus. Nice. Okay, let's go in with something. Oh, there you go. There you go. Okay, I'm just gonna play with the presets in the actual bank before we go ahead and bounce this out. That's vibey. Just gonna copy that across. And then in the second section, I might just put like a high note in the second half, but nothing crazy because I'm gonna add a lick to this, so I can't be overfilling this too much. There you go, I think that's it. Bounce that out as a WAV file real quick, and then add a little lick on the top, and then I'm going to send it straight across to Sicky, let him do his thing with those pedals. I'm literally just going to use my keyboard on the laptop and try and record in a little lick. That sounded okay. I'm just going to dump that in, fix a couple of keys, make sure it's all nicely on beat. Okay, cool. And I think that is my starter. That's going to be my starter. Like I said, I don't want to do too much to this, otherwise, you know, there's going to be no space for Sicky to do his thing. So I'm just going to consolidate all of this into one and then save it.
LLB sent the stuff in. We got the Cooper Effects Arcade, and we've got the Chase Bliss Audio Blooper. I think it'll be really cool to run the starter through these pedals and see what we can come up with. The Arcade here is doing some RC20 stuff, and the Blooper is, well, you'll see. Since Blooper is a looping pedal, we gotta record the audio into this. That's the recording that went through it, and then what I'm gonna do is I'm going to just turn on these modifiers and freak it up a lot. Hey guys, so what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna do a little voiceover because everything I'm doing is gonna seem super confusing to most people. The guitar pedals here, they're just messing up the audio to the point where the loop is completely different from what I started with. And this is actually a really good thing because at the end, you'll have something very unique that you would normally never do. And that's one of the reasons why I love making music with these pedals. Woo! That's the one! That's the one right here. I'm gonna record that in, and then I'm gonna chop it up, and then I'm gonna send it to LLB and see what he does with this. Ooh, right there, bro. That's the bounce right there. 2 bars. And then all we gotta do is now just tighten this up. Ooh, right there. And then we're gonna put this one right there. Take this, that, Ladies and gentlemen, I think that's gonna be our loop. One time. Let's go. Hey. Hey. Oh shit. That sounds dope, dude. LLB is not gonna believe that this is even the same loop, man.
Alright, but I just got off the phone with Sicky. He's just mixed it up completely, like flipped it on his head. That's what he's told me. Let's see what he's actually done to it to make it sound different. And yeah. Okay. Alright man, let's see if we can do something with this. This doesn't really sound like anything I normally pick. Like if I was to pick out a loop, I wouldn't choose this one. So this is going to be a challenge. Screw it man, let's see what we can do with it. Okay, well I think he's done, he's messed around with like, do you know what, I don't even know what he's done. I think he says pedals, like pedal magic. It's got a weird sort of bounce to it, so I'm just gonna chop this up like crazy and see what I can get out of it. Okay, that first bit, might just bounce that out real quick. I could actually just do something with that. Stretch it here. I'm gonna slow this down as well. Turn the pitch down back to E. Oh. And then what happens is bump it down by 5 centimeter. This one unique, mess with the pitch on this. Basically what I'm trying to do right here is just get something catchy, and then I'm going to soften up these sounds because they are sounding a bit weird at the minute. Okay, that's cool. I've got an idea of just totally making this more of an atmospheric sound and then just coming with some of my own sounds again. I'm going to EQ like a ton of this. And then I'm gonna add some reverb to it. Okay, getting somewhere. Okay, so that's gonna be the first 4 bar, and then for the second 4 bar, make it unique, put it down an octave. Vibes. Okay, I'm gonna add one more sound to this. Let's try arcade. Oh, nice. That's a vibe right there. Okay, I'm gonna bounce that out. And I'm gonna put that into the mix here. EQ to it, make it just sit really far in the background. And then for the second half, I'm gonna make this one unique. And because the melody kind of goes down, I'm gonna make this one go up. So I'm just gonna pitch it up an octave. I'm happy with that. That's a lot different from what I got. So I'm going to bounce this out, send it back to him, and see if he can flip it again. Shoot that back to you, Sicky.
Okay, so we got the new files over from LLB. Here's a problem. I had a bunch of trouble recording this part, but strangely that's a good thing because I did so much in this that it's actually better for me to break it down with the screen recording than it is for me to show you me playing the parts. Let me show you guys the finished sample. I am not gonna lie, this is literally the prettiest melody that I've made all year. With that being said, let me show you guys exactly what I added. And if you guys wanna see all the plugin chains and how I got the polished sound that I have on this, you can find the full detailed video over on my Patreon account. I would love it if you guys supported me on there. When I got LLB's files, the very first thing that I did was chop it up and find a rhythmic foundation for me to add other stuff onto it. This is what I chopped up and turned it into. The next thing that I did was add this piano. right? Very simple. It's just chords. There's not a bunch of top stuff happening, which is, I think, important when you're trying to make this kind of bed of music, very atmospheric sound. The next thing that I added was a higher piano part, but I wanted it to be really quiet. So I duplicated the omnisphere and then I added in these notes here and then set the level up, get it really quiet so it blended with the full melody. The next part that we added was a bunch of vocals. Beautiful. And the secret here was a whole ton of reverb and auto-tune. First I recorded the very first melody, double for it, and then I played around with different pitches that helped it kind of sound like a harmony. Panned left, doubled vocal, panned right. And it's only 2 vocals. Normally I would do like 4 or 5, but I wanted to get this to LLB and I was already taking up way too much time to do this. Lastly, add this harmony. And I did the exact same thing over here on this last part. Doubled it. And then added harmonies and doubled those. That is what kind of sells the whole vibe of. Very cool. Moving on, these other little glitchy vocals, I just sang whatever until it sounded good to me. This is what it sounds like. It's just a bunch of little random vocal effects, and then I just reversed it, put a bunch of reverb and delay on it, and then moved them around. And then I added some really deep ones over here. When you actually listen to the full melody, you'll see the whole call and response happening. Call, response, call, response, call, response. The very last thing that I added here, and this is actually probably my favorite part about the whole thing, I took LLB's original sample and then I basically found a little moment in there and I just repeated it like crazy. If I hit S on my keyboard, it'll bring up the slip tool and I can actually cycle through this audio. So watch this. I did all of that and then I just automated the volume by going to this menu here, going to automate volume, and then I just created choppy stuttering bit. And I think it sounds really cool. And the last thing was I took LLB's original, what he sent me, and I sidechained it. So I got the pumping sound effect and then I put it at the end right here. So that was this chop here and I just moved it over to the right. Once this melody was somewhat made, I arranged it in a way so that it felt like it was building towards something bigger and bigger and bigger. Let me send this melody off to LLB and see what he thinks.
Yo. I just sent you the melody. I think it's time to add some drums. What do you think?
I've got an idea of what I want to do, so I'll get it done half an hour and then I'll send it through and then send me yours through and then we'll take a listen.
Sounds good. Let's do it.
Perfect. All right, man. Catch you in a bit.
Catch you in a bit.
Okay, I'm gonna say this right now. I feel like we're gonna make a really cool, chill, hopefully a different vibe than we normally do. So I got the sample in here and there's a bit at the end that I kind of added in that sounds amazing when you play it backwards. So we're gonna reverse the sample. I think it's gonna sound cool when I take it up 100 and 180. Let's see what 180 sounds like. And then pitch it down an octave. Okay, so the only thing I have left to do is to add this bass line right here. That's all I need to add. Then I'm gonna arrange it and send it off to LLB and see what he thinks. Let me now finally send this to my man. I think he's been waiting a little while. I think he's gonna be really surprised when he hears the finished beat. So.
Ooh, I like that. Woo! Jesus. That's something big. Man, the drops should be insane for this. Man, that sidechain sounds insane. Man, this is crazy. This is so different. Wasn't even expecting this. Woo! The drop kills me, man. Yeah, but that sound is so big. Like, as soon as the drop comes, like, the whole beat just opens up like crazy, man. Totally wasn't expecting that. Like, for me, I just thought it would have been either sort of trap, hip-hop, maybe sort of like boom bap style. But yeah, he completely flipped it. I think those vocals that he put on the loop really gave it that kind of EDM sort of house style. So yeah, that was banging, man. The bass line was on point. Yeah, good work, Sikky. Good work.
That was LLB's reaction to the beat. Now, the very first link in the description is going to be to his channel, so you guys can go and watch how he cooked up his beat, which actually is pretty sweet. I love that we both have two different styles of beats made for this video. Also, I'm filming a little breakdown video of how I made this beat. As you can tell, this beat is extremely complicated. In fact, I even put in a little guitar solo right there, right in the center. I also just finished filming a behind-the-scenes video breakdown of the intense process that went into arranging and mixing this beat. That'll be linked in the description. I would love if you guys supported me on there as well. If you are interested, you'll get loops that I make in these videos, the FLPs for these videos, and the best part is the really detailed breakdown and the sciencey, nerdy things that I can't really dive deep into because they would be like 40-minute long videos. But those are also available over on the family tier of the Patreon. Thank you guys so much for watching. My name is SYKKY'S. I will catch you guys in the next video. Peace.